Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Beer and Bayonets. Of course, I am Mo and my co-host Joe. Hey, so I've been thinking a lot about just everything lately, right? I just hit the big 4-0, and
Wow.
yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
What
Uh,
is that like? I need,
I'm gonna be honest.
please enlighten
I didn't
us.
know people live this long, and truthfully, if I was gonna live this long, I would have took better care of myself. Uh,
Yeah.
so we're figuring
Oof.
it out every day. And I heard from a wise man that men usually reinvent themselves at 40.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, um,
You think that's true?
I do. And
Okay.
at least personally, that's what's happening with me. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like not only like 40 is like you're old. No one is like, oh, you're only 40. Like that's not a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, yeah, you're old. Yeah, like I'm a little gray beard. You know what I mean? Like this isn't,
Yeah.
and it happens overnight. But because of that, I've like really shifted my focus on a lot of things, and it's kind of, believe it or not, forced me to slow down, which you know how hard that is for me. Uh, but
I didn't know that was possible.
I mean, I suck at it, so don't give me
Yeah,
too
of
much
course.
credit. But I'm trying. At least I'm thinking about doing it, right?
Sure.
And with slowing down, uh, it's got me thinking about like long term now. I think that's really the difference. It's like
Hmm.
I don't feel any older. Like, yeah, bumps and bruises, like injuries and all that shit. I'm sure, but like mentally, I still feel 25, 26. Maybe 30. Um, the only difference now is I'm looking more towards the future, like long term.
Hmm.
And the irony is, I'm starting to do that now when I have less time to live. But that's where we're at, right? Like I'm focusing more on like the future. And what I have come to the conclusion is, what is the one thing that every human being wrestles with at 2 o'clock in the morning when they're staring at the ceiling fan, like it's about to reveal the secrets to the universe? And it doesn't matter if you're 40 or 24. Everyone thinks the same thing. What is my purpose?
Yeah.
Right? That
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And like I boiled it
Yeah.
down to that one question that everyone
Mm-hmm.
struggles with, everyone thinks about,
Yep. Everybody.
you know. And
I think that, by the way, I'm not trying to
no,
interrupt,
go
but I
ahead.
think the reason why everyone struggles with it is because everyone is called to find it.
Mm,
Like the Bible says that God wrote his laws on people's hearts. So there's something I think, I'm making a really good point right now. So your phone is chiming. You know, there's something so almost this is different than other animals. Like other animals I don't think wrestle with this
no,
sense of
absolutely not.
purpose.
The lion knows what
So
his
this
purpose is. Like we're the only
that's
thing
yeah.
that
Yes.
sits and contemplates what is my purpose.
Yes.
Every other being on earth knows what it is from day one. The
Yes.
lion never has an identity crisis, right?
Yeah.
Fish don't struggle with their identity. Like they know what their
Yes.
purpose is in life. But yet we're the
Yeah.
most advanced beings, and yet we struggle with this one question.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've come to,
Uh,
I'm sorry, please.
no, no, yeah. What I was gonna say is I think it's an invitation. Like it's one of those things that it's a divine invitation. Like we can't see God, but we can have evidence in our like of Him in our own personal struggles. Like why? I think it's a divine pull. Like it's almost like it's a higher calling to discover purpose. It's not just so easily boiled down to simple survival instinct like every other creature on Earth.
Yeah,
Which go ahead. I'm sorry. I
no,
didn't
you're
interrupt.
like it's a great transition because that's exactly what I was going to talk about. It's like
Very cool.
It's everyone struggles with it. Everyone struggles to find it. Everyone's compelled to find it. But I think oftentimes we miss it because we expect it to be like Amazon Prime. Like I order my purpose and within
Mm,
48 hours it should be at my front door and that should be enough.
yeah.
But that's not how it works, right? And then truthfully, on top of that, uh, first of all, that's normal. So anyone listening thinking that you don't know what your purpose is, you're struggling to find it, hey bro, we're all in the same boat. Right? Everyone is going through the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because your meaning in life isn't you don't discover it in one theatrical event. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't think most people do. I don't
No.
because I know for me, my purpose has changed over the years.
Yes.
Like thinking about it, like my purpose in my
Yeah.
20s is very different than my purpose in my now 40. And I know
Crazy.
going forward, I hope will probably change the same. Yeah. I mean, what do you think?
I think there's macro purpose
Mm.
and then there's micro purpose. And so there's like a big picture story purpose or story arc, if you will. And then there are little like almost like side quest, assignments for specific seasons. Right. And, I kind of look at it from the big picture. Like this is one of those, I'm kind of coming hitting it on the nose pretty early in the conversation. Right. But this is one of those, like, if you remove God from the equation, then the entire universe is an accident.
Which plenty of people believe.
Sure, that's fine. And that's fine. I could respect that. But if the universe is an accident, then so am I.
Yes.
And accidents have no purpose,
Mm.
right? There's just simple random, it's just a random equation. It is the dissipation of energy unto nothingness. And maybe I'm delusional. Maybe God's not real. I'm prepared to be wrong about this. But what I believe to be true is that there is a God, because if you put God back into the equation, then the universe isn't an accident. The universe is a design, because you've put designer back into the equation. And if the designer is back into the equation, then there's a design. And if there's a design, then there's a purpose. So if you remove God from the equation, you remove purpose right along with it. So I think this is kind of like from the macro picture. I don't know if it's possible to really kind of check the box in here unless I create some kind of connection with the divine, and from then work from there, from the macro to the micro, right? Which is like, okay, what's my purpose today? Well, today I gotta, go and make a paycheck for my family, and you know,
That's
go ahead.
that's a great point. And again, not to make this religious, but
Yes.
everyone struggles with purpose. So I mean, you don't have to
Yeah.
believe in God, but like you were saying, if you don't believe in God, then you can't believe in purpose. Anyway, moving on past that.
Or you won't find purpose outside of yourself.
Well, there's no
What
need
else
for it.
is
If you're
there?
accidental,
Yeah.
there is no need for purpose,
Yes.
right? So,
There's no need for rhyme or reason
but
if
talking
there's no
about
God.
your macro versus micro, that's something else that I guess I should have just called you instead of doing all this internal soul searching, because I also figured that out too. Like you're absolutely right. There's macro purpose and micro purpose, and sometimes your purpose is just surviving Monday, right? Sometimes your
Yeah.
purpose is getting through
Yeah.
the day, right? Like that's okay. That is a purpose. On the, like you said, on that micro level, it doesn't have to be. And again, God, I was like, I would like, I feel like I bash on social media a lot, but I mean, we have an Instagram, we have the Facebook, we have the thing, but it has contributed to so much
Hmm.
misunderstanding, confusion,
Hmm.
right? I don't know the proper terms because like
Yeah.
people now are like determined, like even those that are listening to the show, right? We've covered that it's a specific demographic of individual that listens to podcasts, especially one like this. if you're listening to this, people now expect to find themselves like a set of lost keys. You know, like it's just like,
Hmm.
oh, I need purpose. Let me dive in. I will find my purpose, and then I will make a plan and I will execute. Because
Hmm.
why? Because they're being told, like you open up your phone and all you see is people trading crypto from their multi-million-dollar yacht, retired at 34 years old. It was like, it's like, bro, that's not reality. But
Yeah.
it has created this environment of people thinking that it's like it's instant, right? Like I said, like Amazon Prime, like you order purpose and within 24 hours it's in your house. Like that's not how this shit works, and it's not gonna be the
Yeah.
same thing internally, right? Like sometimes your purpose might be being a really good parent. Like
Yes.
that's not sexy. You're not gonna find that on Instagram and social media and all that crap, right? Like helping your team at work, being a good dude. Like that might be your purpose for
Yeah.
the week. Like that might
Yeah.
be the catalyst that gets your team, your squad, your unit, whatever, your company across the line. And that was your purpose for that week, right? Just talking like macros and
Yeah.
micros. But
Yeah. Yeah. Simon Sinek wrote a book.
I love that geek.
So he's written a couple books. I like Sinek. And he's written a couple books. One of the ones I like that he wrote was Leaders Eat Last. That's one that I
Yes,
like. But one that's a little bit more relevant to this conversation is Start with Why.
love that one too.
Right? And it's this idea of like, okay, and I think like if you look at a kid, like a child, like a child is such a good summary of the human existence. Like, we learn to kind of mask our base needs, but a child hasn't learned how to mask them yet. And so like kids are constantly asking why,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yes,
they
yes,
haven't been programmed to
yes.
like almost suppress that human nature, that raw human authentic. It's almost authentic. It's almost innocent in a way.
It is. They're kids.
Um,
It is
y-
innocence.
right,
They're
right. And so it's like, but if you look at almost or if you interact with a 6-year-old longer than 20 minutes, somewhere along the way they're gonna ask why. Well, why is it like this? Why is the sky blue?
and
Why
it's
is the
usually a
sun
really
so?
good why. Like that's the worst
Sure.
part.
Yes.
You're like, wow,
Yes.
I didn't think
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
But go to your room.
And yeah, go to your. That's right. I think there's a signal there. There's a signal that many of us just kind of never got the why answered. So then we just tried to just move on with life. But the why it's coming. It comes for all of us. This is why people in their midlife experience a crisis, because they never answered the why. Why am I here? And then you kind of get your introduction to your mortality somewhere in the middle of your life. You realize, oh my God, my life is halfway over, and I don't have any clue as to what it's all been for. And that immediately sparks a crisis. I think that crisis, it's like the old saying, never waste a good crisis. I think that crisis is an opportunity. And there's a lot of people that are listening to this, they're in that crisis right now, Mo.
Yeah,
And it's an opportunity to start asking questions that the busyness of life almost distract us from, you know?
that's absolutely true. Like, and I think that's exactly what gets us to that point. Is people are on cruise control or autopilot through their
Yes.
20s, through their 30s, especially through their 30s, and then like they're like now they get to the end of it, they're like, they've moved up in senior level positions or rank or whatever. They have a little bit more free time now. They're just like, what have I been doing for the last 20 years? Like,
Yeah.
and I agree,
Yeah.
man. That's where that crisis sets in. Fortunately, I don't have that problem because I feel like accidentally I did a lot of stuff that meant things. Had meaning. I raised two beautiful girls
Mm-hmm.
about to graduate college, if you can believe that. Uh,
It's
in
crazy.
2 weeks. No, not even.
That's
Like
crazy.
10 days, bro. Yeah, but like, we got them through that, right? Like, I got a great marriage. I had deployed. I've seen the world. I've traveled. I've done things that had meaning, and it's now
Hmm.
that I've accomplished. The irony is now that I've accomplished, like, got my college degrees. I got all these things that I wanted to do. Now that I've accomplished them, now I'm like,
Interesting.
So now what? It's like, uh,
This is good.
which is that's the
So
irony.
what do you what yeah, I love this. So, okay. It goes back to that Jim Carrey was like Jim Carrey says, I wish everyone would get rich and famous so they could realize how boring it is.
Yeah,
Like it's one of those like, okay, so now you've climbed every mountain, Mo, in your career. You've raised the kids, you've been married, several decades, now multiple decades. So what is this like? Where are you concluding now? Like, what do you? I want to hear more about this. Like, what do you?
I'll ask the questions here. Thank you. No, that's exactly what started this whole thing, man. Is it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Right. So
Now what?
now
Dang.
I had to take, and I think again going back to that macro versus micro purpose and goal setting and things, I had to realize, okay, I've achieved all my macro goals. Now what are the micro ones, right? Because there's still
Mm,
purpose in that, right? Like I was saying, there's still purpose in being a good teammate, being a good leader, help being a good spouse,
yeah.
right? Being a good, eventually one like millennia from now, a good grandfather, like whatever that
Yeah.
purpose is. Now I'm focused more on like the micro things, maybe like the more boring stuff, right? Like I'm going back to school right now to get my master's. Like I'm focusing on my fitness. I'm focusing on like the future. What is my retirement home? Like I'm not so focused now on climbing mountains or like maybe not one
Mm,
big mountain, but a lot of little hills along
mm,
the way, right? Just conquering that
yeah.
ridge line all the way up. And there has to be
Yeah.
value in that. And I think people fail to realize that because of social media and TV and movies. And they think like, oh, I should have ran 3 ultra marathons by now, and I should have a
Mm,
business. Like Warren Buffett wasn't even a millionaire until his 50s. You know what I mean? Like people,
mm-hmm.
we have this skewed perception of reality, and they're like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
falling behind. I haven't achieved X, Y, and Z yet. Like that's okay. The fact that you're
Mm,
even thinking that way puts you ahead of most of the population, right? Because let's be honest, we're talking to the crowd that listens to this. Most of the people aren't even listening to a podcast. They're on the couch right now with a bag of Cheetos watching Netflix for, the 14th hour of
mm-hmm.
the day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people don't stress yourself out thinking, oh my God, I haven't run 4 ultra marathons yet. I haven't,
Yeah.
I'm not a millionaire just yet. Like, that's okay. Small victories matter, right? And as
Yes.
long as you're still
Oh.
looking for purpose and you're still chasing that purpose and meaning every day, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the old saying goes, most men die at 50, but we bury them at 75.
That's
The
right.
second you get
That's right.
comfortable and you stop trying and you stop
Yeah.
getting better, you're done. That's it. That's the end of the line, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no. I think the opposite of not having purpose is depression.
Yes, 100%. A
Yeah.
man with no
And
purpose
so
is depressed. Period.
depressed.
Period. I
Depressed.
don't care who it
It's
is.
just it's simple math.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's simple math. And so Jordan Peterson, right? He's a little bit of a polarizing
I
figure,
like him.
but I
I don't
like
care what
some
people
of
say.
the
I
yeah,
like
I
him.
like him. I like him, right? I like him. Whatever, man. And in his very Canadian analytical
Oh
accent,
yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he talks about like for a person, a young man struggling with depression, the first thing I'll say is start by making your bed.
Yep.
Just start by making your bed. Because it's like it's almost crippling when a person has no reason for their existence, right? It's the if I'm not here for any reason, then I shouldn't be here, right? And that's why suicide is such a big problem because of lack of purpose. And so I think there's the macro purpose that kind of help anchor me, right? Like I believe God is real, and I believe He has created a plan for my life, and I believe the micro purpose is for me to discover that plan along the way. And so,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But along the way, one of the things I need to protect myself from, like you're saying, is comparison, because comparison is the thief of joy.
It is the thief of joy.
It is
100%.
the thief of joy. The only person that I need to be comparing myself to is who I was yesterday. And so if I'm in a competition with anyone, I'm only in a competition with my less mature self last week. And that's it,
That's it.
right? That's it. And so I think if I eliminate or focus on who I'm competing against, which is myself, and then focus on the next step, I think just those few things alone can help protect a person or at least somewhat start to mitigate depression in a person's life. I think that's a real thing. And I don't know. I think the reason why goals are a thing, and it's kind of that carrot in front of you that keeps the legs moving, right? It's like the object in is is like Isaac Newton, right? An object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. So it's like once we get these things moving, there's a momentum that starts to build, and a person can change. A person that's stuck, feeling depressed with no purpose, that can change. I think you will only get the macro, or sorry, you will only do the micro if you don't have the macro. It's like, yeah, I think without having some kind of basis understanding that there is a God and there's a plan, there's a greater purpose, I think that's what helps fuel the smaller stuff, honestly. And I think the smaller stuff is what gives us a little bit of joy throughout our life. I think it's just one of those things that it's like, I start to, for example, I had a change in career, and I thought I was going to be in tech for the rest of my life. And I'm probably never going to get too far away from tech. Like I've always loved technology. I got,
Couldn't tell by
12 IT
the
certifications.
Pokemon behind you.
Yeah, you can see how much of a nerd I am. But I think changing careers, my purpose is still to help. It's still to help people. I'm still here helping people, and so like, the method has changed. The solutions have changed, but the purpose is still the same. I'm still here to help you. I'm still here to I'm in now AI liability insurance and cyber insurance.
Which that's a thing.
But there are risks that's a thing. And there are risks that businesses have no idea that they're up against. And my job is to help them.
Yep.
But my job is still to help people. And so the purpose hasn't changed. And if I focus on that if I make serving people the purpose, getting some kind of a monetary compensation for that, that's only a certification. Like the dollars that we get paid is only a certification of the purpose and the service that we've provided. So it's really about the serving. Like when you get an IT certification, you don't get the certification as that's it. I got my certification and I'm done. No, you can just validate with a piece of paper that you've done something important.
Right.
You know?
Right. Don't I know it? And they expire, so you have to continue.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me started on that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, you got your cert. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'll see you in 2 years.
See you in 2 years, buddy. Enjoy that Sec Plus for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, no, and yeah, man, like you're absolutely right, and I know it doesn't matter. I don't want to say it doesn't matter. That's the wrong choice. It varies person to person, right? But I think like I think it's Confucius said, doesn't matter how slow you keep going as long as you don't stop, right? Sometimes
So
purpose looks like persistence, right? Like sometimes it just continuing on every single day, that is purpose. Right, but no one likes to hear that part, right? Because we all want to get to the purpose immediately. We all, like I said, Amazon Prime and the microwave generation has ruined us, right? Like, we want it instantly, and it's not. It doesn't happen that way, and that's okay. Like we have to understand. Like you're talking about how long did it take you to get to this job that you're at now, right? You were at the other job for
years.
Right?
Oh yeah.
How long did it take you to find your purpose? And how many industries have you been in prior to this?
Oh,
you weren't always in tech.
No.
You know what I mean? So like it's taken.
I would be embarrassed to tell you
right.
the
We're not
amount
getting
of
into
jobs in
details.
industry, so I would rather not.
But
I'd rather not.
You know what I mean? Like it's taking you all these years, like me, same thing, like to figure out like what is your purpose? What is it you think you want to do? And that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like it's okay to not
Dang.
know. Just continue on, right? Keep looking for it, right? Because pressure reveals character. No one likes to talk about that. But growth never happens ever in the easy part. All right, it never does. You grow in the hard part.
Mm.
All right, so there's a reason diamonds are formed under pressure. Right, no one wants to hear about that stuff.
Mm.
Now, at the end of the day, it's okay if you don't know. Right, but the fact that you want to
Yeah.
get there, I say, figure out almost arguably your micro goals, your micro purpose, and that'll just lead you to the macro. Right,
That's so good.
like you just got to get to the mountain
That's so
and
good.
start walking. You'll get to the top.
Mm.
Right, the hardest part is getting to it. Right, like Martin Luther King said, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step.
Yep.
Like
That
just
is
take
so
that
true.
first step. Just keep climbing. Right, keep
Dang.
walking. So, and that's it, man. Like one day when it's all over, you realize you struggled through this process, and that is the purpose. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. We think about this and we approach it from ass backwards, right? Like you said, right? You
Yeah.
now know your purpose is to help people, right? You help people in the church, you help people in IT, you help
Yeah.
people like. But how long has it taken you to get to this point, right? Like I now
Mm.
know my purpose was, to be a father, to be a husband, to be a soldier, to do all the things, whatever, right? But it wasn't until I was done with it and went through the struggle and raised kids for, 20 plus years now. They're
Mm.
22. They just celebrated 22nd birthday. Like,
Mm.
it wasn't until the struggle was over that I realized, oh, that was it. That was the purpose. We think I need a purpose tomorrow. And once I figure out the purpose, I will achieve it. That's not it at all. Like,
Mm.
understand, appreciate the struggle. The whole point of this is to say appreciate the struggle, right, and celebrate
Yeah.
small victories.
Come on, man.
That's really it. That's I'm off my soapbox now. Thank you, doctor.
No, no, but I love appreciate the struggle.
Appreciate the
Appreciate the
struggle,
struggle. Like
man.
I think yeah, it's like what you call that with social media. Like social media creates this fantasy that everyone else has already is on the other side of the struggle, and I'm still stuck here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's actually I'm in sales, right? I've been in sales before. That's the whole point of the sale. I'm trying to create emotional response out of you
Yeah,
so that I can create a call to action. So I got to get you feeling insecure. I got to get you feeling psychologically behind the ball so then you can buy my course.
right.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like, dude, like get off of that stuff. Like it's all a game. And so I think something else that's important, Mo, to call out, as probably one of the kind of the closing points here, I think, is the hedgehog concept. And
What is the
good to
hedgehog
great,
concept?
Jim Collins. Oh man, good to great. So you and I both, we like books, man.
Mm-hmm.
We've liked books for a long time, and Good to Great still for me is like in my top 5. It just I love that
It
book
is
so
a good
much.
one.
And Jim Collins talks about the intersection of 3 circles. Okay. And the intersection of 3 circles, the hedgehog concept, and I'm going to butcher this because it's been a while since I've read this, but I think it was like a certain kind of maneuver, like a hedgehog move that these fighter pilots used to do. That it was like, this is the one thing that they do better than anyone else. And he started taking that little maneuver, these airplane fighter pilots, and turned it into a hedgehog concept. And it's this idea. And here's this little, imagine a Venn diagram, and the center point, that's the hedgehog concept.
Okay.
But the first circle is, what are you passionate about? Okay. What are you passionate about? What creates the most effortless dopamine spikes in your brain?
Okay.
What are you passionate about? Circle number 1. Interestingly enough, there are plenty of people that pursue passions that they're not good at and they make no money.
Facts.
Okay. And then they struggle. They struggle because they just only.
I'm just kidding. I love this. I love this job. I love this
That's
thing.
funny.
But
Right.
it
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
pay.
The irony
The
of it,
irony.
it doesn't pay.
Doesn't pay.
We still got jobs.
We still got jobs.
man. So passion only is actually not enough for purpose, but it's very important. So there's passion, and then this is so good. The next one is what can you potentially be world class in?
Okay.
Like, what are you psychologically, genetically, biologically predisposed to be actually world class in? If you take your profile, your emotional profile, your Myers-Briggs, hell, even your Zodiac. You put all of the recipe of what you are into an equation, and then it'll spit out, there are a few things that I'm just genetically, psychologically, emotionally predisposed to be really good in. Okay? So what can you actually be? I will never be a world-class, like, horse racer, like the guys that sit on the horses, because all of them are half the jockeys.
Right.
They're all of them are half my
They're
size.
my size.
Quite literally, they are your size. You would be a much.
I would have been a great jockey.
Like,
I missed my call.
that's what I'm saying. You know, even if I lost 100 pounds, I will still
You'd have
never
to lose
be
100 pounds in
world-class
2
jockey.
feet.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So there are things that I would just not be world-class in.
Right.
Okay? And there are other things that I'm predisposed to be world-class in. That I can actually be the best in the world, the top 1%. So skill. And then finally, which one's going to affect your bottom line financially the most?
Okay.
So when you know, because here's the deal. Sometimes people pursue something that they're really good at, but they're not passionate about it, and it doesn't pay very much. Sometimes they just get into a job and they're really good at it, and then they're just stuck there because they're just really good at it. So they're world class at something, but man, do they hate their life, and it really is not paying what they want. Or sometimes these kids are forced to become lawyers and doctors, and now you got doctors that are drug addicts. Yep. Okay, yep. Because they were just forced to get into a profession for the only reason to make money and nothing else. Yep. So that hedgehog concept has a lot to do with our micro purpose here on the earth of what are you passionate about, what could you be world class in, and then what can most affect your bottom line financially. And when you find the center of that, my gosh, that's got to be a lot closer.
Yeah, it's got to get
you know, than just that's got to be at least somewhere in the ballpark. Good Lord,
that's a great point. Yeah, no, that's and that. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, right, that gets you at least closer. You don't have to have it all figured out tomorrow. No. Like, you don't got to have maybe the next 20 steps. You don't need the entire roadmap, right? Like, just get a general idea. Like you said, it gets you in the general ballpark, right? And that's okay. Like, and your purpose is going to change as you change, hopefully. Because if you're still thinking at 40 like you did at 20, you wasted 20 years of your life, right? So maybe just start with, you know, the little micro things, right? Maybe be a little kinder. Try and be a little stronger. Be a little more honest. You know, whatever it is. Figure out your micro goals, your micro purpose for the day, and the macros are just going to happen. All right, maybe drink a little more water. I don't know. Whatever it is, right? There's water in there somewhere, I'm sure. Like, no one has it all together, right? We're all works in progress. Yeah. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out. And, like, and I would venture to say, even if you're just trying to do something, that's okay, right? I don't know, but I don't think I die tomorrow, I get to heaven, and God is like, actually, Mo, you were supposed to open a burger shop in 2009, and it just all went downhill after that. Like,
ooh,
you know what I mean?
This is, okay, here we go.
I just don't think that's how it's going to work. So, hey, just give it a shot, man. Just start moving, right? And I feel like, hey, say what you want. I believe God will take the reins and just kind of guide you as needed down the road. But, anyways, brother, as always appreciate you on the show. Always a great time.
Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, just keep trying, keep growing. And remember, even GPSs recalculate when you miss a turn.
That's right.
We're all just figuring it out as we go. So, as always, if you guys, I am not sponsored. If I know a product, I love some shit, I like to share it. And my website, everything that you see on here is run by BBL. So, if you ever need any kind of IT solutions, go check them out. BBL, they're linked to beerandbayonets.com, the website that they created. So, anyway. But yeah, man, until next time, love you, bro. Love you guys.
Love you.
Take it easy.
See you.